Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sparks fly as Hope and Finn reconnect. Just in time for Valentine's Day, the Bold and the Beautiful is causing havoc among couples in Los Angeles. It appears like Luna Nozawa's paternity test will ruin Steffy Forrester and Dr. Finn's romantic vacation. The Bold and the Beautiful, do you want more? B&B spoilers, Shin disintegrates. Shin's future is not looking good. According to rumors, the couple has finally encountered an obstacle they are unable to overcome. According to B&B spoilers, Luna Nozawa will be the final straw for them even if they have overcome every challenge the soap opera has presented. Even if she did put his wife in a cage, Finn would never abandon his long-lost kid or former cousin since he has a golden heart. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan may be alone and back on the market before next week, proving that Finn and Steffy are not the only troubled relationship. This week on the CBS soap opera, Daphne Rose will woo Carter Walton. She's like a hound with a bone. When Hope finds out that Carter cheated on her, she will be crushed and will be headed straight to the Heartbreak Hotel. B&B spoilers, Finn and Hope reach an agreement. Ironically, it's likely that Finn and Hope will be spending Valentine's Day by themselves. Since Steffy Forrester put a stop to their relationship, Finn has shunned Hope for months. But since he is already at odds with his wife, will he avoid his old closest friend? Hope Logan will require a shoulder to weep on, and Dr. Finn needs someone to confide in. There is a good chance that Finn and Hope will hook up. When Steffy finds out that Luna is Finn's daughter, will she relapse into addiction? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester may relapse into addiction following some startling revelations. When Steffy finds out that Luna Nozawa is the daughter of John Finn Finnegan, will she relapse? Steffy undoubtedly hopes that she and Finn have overcome every obstacle at this stage of their marriage. Despite facing more challenges than they can recall, Finn and Steffy have consistently come out stronger as a pair. But Steffy might not be able to cope with the fact that Finn is Luna's father. Steffy has every reason to despise Luna for eternity because she is the same lady who drugged her, held her captive, and almost killed her. Steffy will be concerned that Luna still poses a threat, even under this weak kind of house imprisonment, given she also killed two innocent men after targeting Tom Starr and Paul Hollis Hollister. If Finn insists on standing up for Luna and attempting to be a true father to her, you can guarantee that Steffy will worry about the safety of her family. It might cause Steffy to use an undesirable coping mechanism and cause some new marital problems. Could this whole Luna nightmare lead to Steffy getting back on drugs? Will Steffy become addicted again and grasp for the pill bottle? Steffy developed a painkiller addiction in 2020 following the motorbike accident that introduced her to Dr. Finn. Even while Steffy eventually received the assistance she required, the most recent Luna turmoil may trigger a serious relapse. As she freaks out about Finn and Luna's father-daughter announcement, Steffy may start using drugs again. One possibility to consider is that it might drive Steffy over the edge and start a new addiction story. We'll see whether B&B pursues that path, because we are confident that Jacqueline McInnes would do those scenes brilliantly. In any event, Steffy will undoubtedly have challenges in the future as a result of Daddy Finn's most recent familial relationship. Our forecasts indicate that Finn and Steffy's relationship may be strained to the limit, so we'll keep you informed about all the drama that lies ahead. According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy and Finn will need to determine whether their marriage can last. Raging on Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester splits from Finn because of Luna Bomb. You know what's going on The Bold and the Beautiful this week? When Dr. John Finnegan learns that his cousin Luna Nozawa is truly his daughter, he is appalled. Steffy Forrester, his wife, will be considerably more distressed than he is. The daughter of her spouse attempted to murder her. B&B spoilers ahead. Here's what happens next on the CBS soap opera. Steffy Forrester freaks out over the Luna paternity test in spoilers for The Bold and the Restless. Being a strong individual, Dr. Finn is probably going to tell his wife about the paternity test as soon as possible. However, Steffy Forrester will not be very forgiving or understanding. After divorcing Finn over Luna Bomb, Steffy Forrester rages on Bold and the Beautiful. If Finn hadn't come to her rescue, Luna Nozawa would have succeeded in her plan to kill her as she held her captive in a cage for days. Even if Luna is her father's daughter, Steffy will never permit her husband to have a relationship with her. Viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful are aware of Finn's unwavering devotion to his wife. To please his birth mother, Sheila Carter, he even severed his relationship with her. However, he will be able to ignore his own daughter because of his moral compass. The Queen of Ultimatums, Steffy Forrester, will impose rules on her husband and probably tell him to stop seeing his daughter or cousin. According to BNB teasers, Finn will surprise his wife by growing a backbone and disobeying her this time. Finn Finnegan feels sorry for Luna Nozawa in BNB spoilers. After all, Finn is a medical professional and is aware of Luna's mental health problems. He will most likely try to enlist Luna's assistance behind his wife's back, which would only enrage Steffy more. According to rumors, Finn may receive divorce papers before the end of next month, despite Shin's years of stability on Bold and the Beautiful. Will Finn pick Luna over Steffy, in your opinion? Will's integrity, Elektra's question, and Finn's family's disintegration. Here are spoilers for Thursday, February 6, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that John Finn Finnegan will attempt to prevent his family from disintegrating in tomorrow's episode. Will Spencer strives to provide truthful answers to Elektra Forrester's inquiries regarding Luna Nozawa. Find out what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera by reading on. The investigation of Elektra Forrester. According to BNB previews, Elektra will ask Will some questions on Thursday, February 6. Most likely, this is a moment from the weekly preview video. At Bill Spencer's estate, Elektra and Will are seated on the couch in that video. Luna Nozawa is surreptitiously listening in on Will's private discussion as usual. BNB spoilers, the honesty of Will Spencer. Will be questioned by Elektra about his initial thoughts of Luna on Thursday, February 6. Fans are aware that Will has never had faith in Penelope, Poppy, Nozawa, or Luna. Will made an effort to get along with Luna. Luna and Will appeared to be cordial at one point. But Will's suspicions remained constant, as evidenced by his conversations with Katie Logan. But perhaps there was something Will didn't share. As her obsession deepens, a snooping Luna will cling to anything positive that Will says. The family of John Finnegan disintegrates. Finn will make a valiant effort to prevent his family from disintegrating, according to Thursday, February 6 spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Finn recently discovered that he is the biological father of Luna. This could endanger Finn's marriage to Steffy Forrester Finnegan in addition to rekindling the conflict between Lee Finnegan and Poppy. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Will's integrity, Elektra's question, and Finn's family's disintegration. Thursday, February 6, 2025, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans may also notice that Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, digs a little deeper into Luna's disappearance from prison in Thursday's episode. Poppy appeared more concerned about Luna's fate. Lee may be more concerned about the bodies accumulating once more. That might force Lee to access some of her strong contacts in order to learn the truth. Lee will lose it if she discovers that Luna is staying with Bill. Bill was once a hero and a good friend to Lee. Even though Bill might make an effort to defend himself, is there any chance that he will be saved? Stay tuned, because even though it might seem impossible, soap operas generally manage to make it happen. Knowing how to pull the proper threads at the right time to tip the scales in her favor, Daphne had always been calculating. This time, however, her scheme had progressed to the point of blatant sabotage rather than only persuasion. As she planned one of the most catastrophic storms Forrester Creations had ever encountered, she had strategically positioned herself in the middle of the mayhem to ensure that no one would suspect her. At the center of it all were Steffy, who was heading into what might be her worst nightmare, and Luna, who had vanished without a trace. It had begun quietly, with a little nudge here, a murmur there. Daphne had allowed paranoia to flourish by sowing mistrust among Luna's closest associates. She took care to make the appropriate acquaintances, win over the right supporters, and sow seeds of ideas that would upend Steffi's entire universe. And the timing couldn't have been more ideal when Luna abruptly vanished. Steffi was overburdened by the desperate hunt for her, and her composure began to waver when she recognized that the young lady she had attempted to distance herself from had taken center stage in the complex web of Forrester drama. Finn was frantic to locate Luna because he couldn't bear to wait another second for answers. His gut told him that something wasn't right, that Luna wouldn't simply disappear. Even his mother, Lee, wouldn't go to such lengths, but he knew she had her doubts about Luna. What about Poppy? Looking over her shoulder as though she knew something the others didn't, she had been afraid ever since the paternity scandal. She had shut down when Finn tried to get the truth out of her, either because she was unable or unwilling to share what she knew. Steffi, meantime, was drowning in a maelstrom she had never seen coming. She had devoted so much of her time to managing Luna's position in their life, and now that she was gone, Steffi was starting to see how much influence the girl had acquired. Every boardroom meeting, every chat, every minute was absorbed by the hunt for Luna. Steffi had never anticipated the extent of the absence, but Hope and Carter, who had been enmeshed in their own plans, had joined the quest. The invisible power that was tugging the strings, Daphne, then appeared, grinning in the darkness as her scheme came to pass just as she had imagined. When it counted most, she had made sure Luna was out of the picture, leaving Steffi exposed, Finn preoccupied, and Forrester Creations on the verge of a full-scale meltdown. Daphne was only getting started, though, and wasn't finished yet. Control was Steffi's Achilles heel, as she had always understood. Steffi thrived on organization and anticipating every move. But what if she started to lose control of everything around her? What if everything she had placed with care started to fall apart? Turning Steffi's world upside down until there was nothing left but turmoil was Daphne's ultimate goal. Steffi was halfway there, and Luna was nowhere to be found. The stunning discovery of Finn's true paternity had shocked the bold and the beautiful fandom, and the outrage was evident. For months, even years, viewers had clung to the notion of Finn as the cool-headed physician torn between family duty and love, only to have his entire world upended by the revelation Poppy had been keeping all along. Emotions were strong both on and off screen when the plot came apart. Enthusiastic arguments, fan theories, and plain frustration erupted on social media. However, nobody anticipated the response of one of the show's stars, who came forward in an unexpected manner and responded to the criticism with a blend of curiosity, understanding, and a hint of mystery. Instead of avoiding the issue, the bold and beautiful star welcomed it, recognizing the intensity of fans' feelings regarding Poppy's deceit and Finn's situation. They said, "I get it," in a special interview. Their reaction was neither defensive nor contemptuous, rather, it demonstrated a profound understanding of the audience's commitment to the characters and the drama playing out on screen. People are angry. They feel betrayed, just like Finn does. And that's the beauty of storytelling, when it hits you so hard that you can't stop thinking about it, that's when you know we're doing something right. Poppy's involvement in the deception had been the biggest surprise. Though few had foreseen the depth of her secrets, fans had viewed her as a free-spirited, mysterious woman. Longtime fans went into a tailspin when they learned that Finn had been deceived all of his life. The actor added, "What's crazy is that we're not even close to the full fallout yet," suggesting that there will be more drama to come. Finn's in a really dark place, and the choices he makes next are going to change everything. And as for Poppy? Well, let's just say, she's not done shocking us yet. Fans went crazy after this recognition. It was exciting and horrifying to think that things may get even worse. Unable to forgive Poppy for the falsehoods, many were already demanding that Finn sever all relations with her. Others conjectured that there might be a more significant twist in the works and that Poppy wasn't the only one at fault. Some people then wondered what this would entail for Finn and Steffi's relationship. Would she support him or would their marriage eventually fall apart? In addition to validating the fans' feelings, the actors' response to the outcry fanned the flames. They obviously enjoyed the challenge of bringing Finn's turmoil to life, and instead of being overwhelmed by the backlash, they welcomed it as evidence that the plot was working. Listen, I love playing Finn because he's not perfect. He's got layers. And this situation is pushing him to his absolute limit. He's questioning everything, his past, his family, even himself. That kind of internal conflict is what makes for some of the best moments on this show. However, the most surprising aspect of the interview was when they alluded to an impending event that was so startling that even they were shocked during shooting. The tease was enough to send fans into overdrive, wondering just how far Finn would go in his quest for answers and retribution. There's one scene coming up where Finn just loses it. I mean, we've seen him emotional before, but this? This is something else entirely. I had to take a breath after filming it because it was that intense. The bold and beautiful cast members' response was surprisingly open, but it also left a lot of room for speculation. Would Poppy ever be forgiven by Finn? Was there one more surprise in store for us? What impact might this have on his interactions with Steffy, Luna, and the other members of the Forrester family? There was no doubt that the fury would not be subsiding anytime soon. The best was still to come, based on the actor's cryptic remarks. Finn had always been his family's pillar of support, the constant force that prevented everything from falling apart, but he was now up against his greatest obstacle to date as the turmoil surrounding Luna's paternity and Poppy's secrets threatened to tear his world apart. His marriage, his faith in the people he cared about, and even his sense of self were all under attack. Nevertheless, he was confident that he would not allow his family to disintegrate, regardless of how many disclosures caught him off guard or how betrayed he felt. He and Steffy were no longer the only ones involved. It was more than just the home they had made together or the love they had developed. Protecting Hayes, his son, and now Luna, his daughter whom he was unaware he had, was the goal. It was about ensuring that he could provide Luna with something genuine, something she had never had before, in spite of the past errors and Poppy's deceptions. A family she could rely on, a father who supported her. And he understood that anger wasn't the solution, despite the fact that the pain was still burning in his chest and that he wanted to lash out at the lies that had been spoken to him for years. Not if he wished to maintain his family. But Steffy was having trouble. She was questioning everything as the situation's weight pulled at her. After everything they had previously been through, from Sheila's continual threats to the betrayals that had damaged their trust, she had worked extremely hard to maintain their marriage solid and their lives stable. Abruptly, another woman was bound to Finn in a manner she had never anticipated. Luna had changed from being a random girl. She was the daughter of Finn. That meant that, whether Steffy liked it or not, Poppy would always be a part of their life. She had initially wanted to fight back, to ignore everything and act as though nothing had happened. Finn, however, wouldn't let her. He was aware that they would only become more distant if they chose to ignore the reality and let the tension to fester. Thus, he kept them together as he always had. Late into the night, he sat with Steffy and helped her overcome her anxieties while assuring her that she remained the most significant person in his life. He spent time with Hayes to ensure that their boy was not burdened by the turmoil that loomed over their home. And in an effort to establish a strong bond with Luna, he moved slowly and cautiously. After spending so much of her life feeling lost, he wasn't going to allow her to feel like an outsider. Poppy, however, presented the greatest obstacle. Given the deceit she had contributed to, Finn had every reason to distance himself from her and end their relationship permanently. She had deceived him for years after he had once trusted her. There was something inside of him that understood, despite his desire to shove her away. She had been afraid. She had been determined to keep Luna safe, to keep her safe from a reality that she believed would only hurt her. Poppy, who had previously guarded secrets, was now a mother who had made mistakes and was attempting to correct them as she stood in front of him. Finn set boundaries, something he had never been able to do previously. He advised Poppy to be truthful going forward if she wished to be included in Luna's life. No more secrets. Stop telling half-truths. He refused to allow their history control their present or future. He had had enough of being defined by other people's errors. He was taking charge and doing whatever it took to keep his family together. He was convinced of one thing as he gazed at Steffy, Luna, the life they had created, and the future that lay ahead. He would not allow anything or anyone to destroy them. Finn had always taken great satisfaction in being the cool-headed one, the man who controlled his emotions no matter how heated the situation became. He had grown up with the conviction that reason and logic could resolve any issue and that losing control would result in the loss of everything. However, something within of him broke when Poppy eventually admitted the entire depth of her falsehoods, and the weight of her deceit descended over him like a stifling fog. All of this suddenly came crashing down on him, and the explosion that followed could not be stopped. It included the treachery, the years of time that had been taken, and the life he could have had with Luna if only he had known the truth. His voice reverberated across the space, rattling the wall's once secure base. "Poppy, you lied to me. Years. You continued to act as if it didn't matter that I had a daughter, my own daughter, and you let me go about freely." His body was rigid from trying to stop himself from slashing out at the first thing he saw, and his hands were shaking with anger. He was angry at himself as much as at Poppy for ever thinking he could rely on her. Poppy recoiled at his tone, her normally calm expression crumbling under his rage. "Please, Finn, I did it to keep Luna safe, not to harm you. I believed it to be for the best." Finn laughed sourly and without humor. "For the best? You believed it was best to deny me the opportunity to become a father." His breathing was erratic as he combed through his hair. "Are you even aware of what you did? What this has done to me? Do you even care?" To Luna, his emotions were a jumbled mass of rage, heartache, and incredulity, and his heart was hammering fiercely in his chest. Poppy started crying, but Finn didn't feel like comforting her. Not right now. Not with all she had stolen from him. His voice was quieter, but no less vicious as he went on. "I thought you were my friend, Poppy. I believed that you were a trustworthy individual who genuinely cared about me. However, you were only thinking about yourself, weren't you?" "As usual." Desperately, Poppy shook her head. "That isn't true, Finn. I felt afraid. I was at a loss for what to do. I believed that by keeping this a secret, she would be protected, that—" Poppy jumped when Finn slammed his fist down on the table. "Stop apologizing," he yelled. "Stop attempting to defend your actions. You had years to be honest with me. I've been a part of my daughter's life for years. And whereas Luna grew up unaware of her biological father, you let me to wander around in the dark." His whole body was trembling from the intensity of his feelings, and he was now breathing heavily. Even after Sheila had completely upended his life, he had never experienced such rage. This was not like the others. This was personal, it was more than simply treachery. Poppy had played God with both of their lives, and this was his child, his blood. Poppy was crying now, but Finn wasn't finished. He was unable to be. "Are you aware of what this implies for Luna?" he insisted. "What impact will this have on her, in your opinion? You were too much of a coward to face the consequences, so you concealed the truth from her when she deserved to know it." He flinched when Poppy reached for him. "I apologize, Finn. I realize I should have informed you sooner, but I was terrified." "What are you afraid of?" Finn interrupted her, his eyes flaming. "Are you worried that I'll be the father she needs? Are you worried that I might truly provide her with the stability and affection she has been without all of her life? Or did you simply fear that speaking the truth would take away any influence you believed you had over the matter?" Finn was unable to care that Poppy's sobbing had softened into soft whimpers. "Not right now. Not after everything." He made himself take a big breath, his hands at his sides locked into fists. Before he said something he couldn't take back, he had to leave. But before he left, he gave Poppy one final look. His voice was quiet and collected, but it was full with a cold hatred that made her shudder. "Poppy, you have no say in what occurs next. No more. I will now be the one to decide what is best for my daughter. And you won't simply lose my trust if you try to hide anything more from me, or if I discover that you're still keeping something from me. You will also lose Luna." He then hurried away, leaving Poppy standing there, broken and alone, while the consequences of her decisions finally crumbled around her.